Welcome back to Champion Car Wash Field here on this Saturday, final day of the regular season for the Roseburg Indians. And of course, you know what that means. It is senior day. They honored the 4 seniors on this year's roster prior to the start of today's doubleheader as Roseburg wraps things up against the North Medford Black Tornado. Now, we wanted to take a little bit of extra time here to acknowledge this year's seniors. We've been talking about them all throughout the day, but wanted to get a moment here to truly acknowledge this year's senior class. It's a small one for the Roseburg Indians, but wanted to get into it and take a look at these 4 young men that are going to be graduating from the program this year for the Indians. Well, first off, we start off with Amos Bowers, a third-year varsity player for the Roseburg Indians. He has spent most of his time at catcher, and he has been able to get a lot of innings in this year. His kind of first major season of being out there on the field pretty much every day for every single inning. I think, if I can remember correctly, I think only just one game so far this year that Amos was not behind the dish for Roseburg, and he has done a great job out there for the Roseburg Indians and has continued to improve on his game. He's also looking to try and finish things off strong for the Roseburg Indians as they make this push to the postseason. So he's been the everyday catcher back behind the plate for the Tribe. He plans on moving on to join a trade after the summer, according to the bio we got from the coaching staff. He did play football here at Roseburg High School. He was joined earlier today by his parents, Mallory and Jesse, his brother Owen, and his sister Emma. Good luck to Amos Bowers as he continues on with his life post-high school, and it'll be interested to see where life takes him and what trade he looks to try and join into after high school. But that's Amos Bowers, a senior for this Roseburg Indian team. Been on the varsity level for a couple of years, and this been his biggest season with the Indians, and looking to try and finish things off strong. Next up, it is the starting shortstop for the Roseburg Indians. That's Paxton Burke. He's in his 3rd year at the varsity level as well, and he's been a regular contributor for the last couple of years. Getting a good opportunity to start most every game at shortstop last year. I think the year before that, I'm remembering back a couple of years now, but I'm pretty sure the year before that, he was elsewhere on the field for the Indians with a starting shortstop at senior in Brooks Avery for the Indians before that. But he got to take over at that shortstop position, and he has not really given way there. He has been amazing out there. A very sure-handed shortstop, a guy reliable up the middle, a veteran leader on the field for the Roseburg Indians, and at the plate he is a dynamo back there. He's been in the leadoff spot at the plate for the Indians throughout this season and last. A switch hitter, so he is very versatile at the top of the order for the Roseburg Indians, and his skills has been able to earn him an opportunity to continue on his baseball career. He is already committed, did so before the season got underway. He is planning to attend Lewis Clark State College in Lewiston, Idaho, go out there to play for former Doc Stewart's baseball coach, former Umpqua Riverhawks baseball coach. He is back at his previous school. That's Jeremiah Robbins, the head coach out at LC State out there. They've had a great season going on right now. They are back in the postseason and looking to be a possible favorite to play for a NAIA national championship as they look to try and make their way through their regional round in the postseason right now. But been a strong season for Coach Robbins and the Warriors out there. And joining that team next year will be Paxton Burke after he graduates from Roseburg High School. Excited to see how he can contribute at the college level for Coach Robbins there in Lewiston. He also plans on majoring in health studies as he makes his way towards college. Paxton, this is not his first senior day. Also celebrated senior day during the football season with the Roseburg Indians. He's was joined in the pregame by on the field with his mom, Katrina, his dad, Jamie, his stepdad, Doug, his brothers Parker and Payson. Parker, a former Roseburg Indian on the baseball team. Payson, maybe we might see him in the future. And his grandma Marilyn out there as well with him. So great to see Paxton surrounded by his family here today as they are a baseball-loving family. And we'll look forward to seeing how things continue to go for Paxton Burke. Also for the Roseburg Indians on the senior class this year, Riley Cheney. And I know some injuries kind of derailed things from last season to this year for him, hoping to come back, and he was a little uncertain about where his arm might be as he's in his third year now with the Roseburg Indians at the varsity level. He's been pretty much a pitcher only. This year he's been a pitcher only. Last year was pretty much that as well. Also played football in his time at Roseburg High School. But I know, again, that arm issue that kind of dealt him a blow during the offseason, that's been kind of a thing that he's been dealing with throughout this year. He's pitched a limited amount here so far this season for the Roseburg Indians, but he's been a guy that's been there in the dugout for the Indians throughout this year, and you got to give kudos to a senior for sticking it out, even dealing with a little bit of issues that he thought was going to mean the end of his baseball playing career. He's been able to be out there and continue to hang out with his guys. Always fun to see a senior getting a chance to try and finish out his career on the right note. His future plans include joining the workforce. He's going to be going into the workforce after high school and plans to try to get a job over at Umpqua Sand and Gravel. He was joined out on the field with his family, his mom Nanette, his dad Stacy, his sisters Alyssa and Haley, and his brother-in-law Paxton, all joining him out there on the field as they honored Riley Cheney at the start of the day as well. And then Brady Popkin, our final senior on the roster for the Roseburg Indians. Brady, a first-year varsity player, swung up a little bit at the very end of last year, but really his first full season of varsity action this year. He's been spending time at first base, on the mound. He's been a sure hitter for the Roseburg Indians. When he's been in the lineup, he's been able to produce most of the time. He's a contact hitter, and when he gets up there, he's been in there in some big spots. He had a game-winning hit against the Willamette Wolverines a couple of weeks ago, or last week, I should say, and came up in a big spot. It was in the middle of the game, had a hit that drove in a couple of runs, gave Roseburg the lead, and that was all they needed. They were able to go from there the rest of the way out and pick up the victory. So Brady Popkin, despite not being an everyday guy out there, he has contributed big for this team this year. At first base, he's been a pretty reliable guy over there, sure-handed fielding and sure-handed when he's receiving the throws there at first base, done a nice job. And he's been a guy they've been able to throw on the mound in some spots to be able to eat up some innings for them as well. His plans post-high school, wants to attend Umpqua Community College in the fall and major in civil engineering. Pretty cool there. Joining Brady on the field prior to the game were his parents, Jenny and Andy, and his brother Tyler out there with him here today. So just a small class of 4 seniors this year for the Roseburg Indians. They all have contributed in multiple ways throughout their time with the Roseburg baseball program, and we wish them all the best as they continue on post-high school. As, cannot believe the graduation is right around the corner for these seniors. I'm sure they're starting to itch to get to that moment, but still a lot of baseball hopefully left to play for the Roseburg Indians, including Game 2 against North Medford Black Tornado coming up here in today's doubleheader. It'll be the final game of the regular season for Roseburg. Up next week, they've got the week off, no games planned. They'll just be getting ready for the postseason. Roseburg seems to be pretty much a lock to get into the postseason. It's all down to where their power ranking ends up on what matchup they'll get. Looks like it's most likely going to be on the road for the Indians, but they know that they're pretty much coming up not next week, but the week after, on that Monday, the first round will include the Roseburg Indians. And so these seniors will get a chance to try and see if they can take their team into a deep run in the postseason coming up. We'll look forward to that. Congratulations to these seniors on their careers with the Roseburg baseball program. Good luck to you in the future. It's been fun to get to know all of these guys throughout their time with Roseburg High School athletics. All right, that's going to do it for this segment here on our Roseburg Disposal pregame show. Game 2 is coming up here in just a little bit. We're going to continue to work on getting those lineup cards, getting you all ready to go. But we acknowledge the seniors today here on Senior Day. We'll be back with more Roseburg baseball coming up on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Financial security allows you the freedom to take stock of what's important and build lasting bonds. We share your goals. Trust Palm Wealth Management to consolidate your investments and generate income for those who need you most. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
Everest, K2, and now the Mountain by Mountain Mike's Pizza. The biggest pizza this side of the Rockies. The mountain-sized pizza is a massive 20 inches wide, delivering 20 slices and a mountain of toppings. Made with the freshest and finest ingredients. Dough made fresh daily with 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings to the edge. It's time to go big. Order yours now by using our mobile app.
When it comes to finances, it can be hard to know what's in your best interest. Experience the strength of advice at Palm Wealth Management. From education and estate planning to retirement and the unexpected, we can help. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
Getting ready for Game 2 of our doubleheader here from Champion Car Wash Field. The coaches are exchanging lineup cards at home plate for the second game, and we are just about to get things ready to go for Roseburg and North Medford. Don't have the graphics ready as we are just getting things handed over to us, but we can run you through what today's starting lineup for Game 2 is, brought to you by Southern Septic Service. From residential to commercial, they've got your behind covered when it comes to septic tank pumping and inspections, portable toilet rentals, and grease trap cleaning. Southern Septic Service is woman and veteran-owned and a proud supporter of our local sports teams. We're wrapping up the Roseburg Disposal pregame show for Game 2 of today's doubleheader. And must be softball, JV softball players that are in attendance here. I was like, they couldn't be done with a doubleheader for softball already as they go walking by the booth here. Game 2, we take the field. Here we go. Roseburg takes the field, and the North Medford Black Tornado, led by Coach Brett Wolf in his 26th year at North Medford. It's his first year back after 25 years with the Black Tornado. Spent a couple of seasons away with Seaside, and he's now back at the helm. His lineup will have Benny Morgan leading off at shortstop. Braden Poff, the center fielder, batting second. Brady Patterson, the catcher, will bat third. Quincy Ballard at first base here in Game 2 will bat cleanup. Cade Pedersen will pitch in Game 2, batting fifth. Hitting in the sixth spot is going to be Reese Thompson at third base. The left fielder is going to be that is going to be Colston Staller in left field, batting seventh. Connor Roush, the right fielder, will bat eighth, and the 9-hitter is the second baseman, Kyson Scheid. For Roseburg defensively, on the mound, it's going to be Fletcher Coleman, the junior left-hander. Behind the plate, Amos Bowers catching. Brady Popkin will play at first base here in Game 2. Mason Young at second. On the left side of the diamond, A.J. Black at third. Paxton Burke at short. And in the outfield from left to right, Nick Ruiz in left, Christian Corba in center, and Rylan Glasser in right field. And that is a look at things as we get ready for Game 2 of our doubleheader here at Champion Car Wash Field. A 6-3 win for Roseburg in Game 1. And they look to try and see if they can pull off a season sweep against North Medford here in Game 2. Bit of a rarity in this series. These two teams have met for many, many years. Not often have you seen a 3-game sweep by either team, I think, in this matchup. All right, we get ready to go. Benny Morgan will lead things off. First pitch from Fletcher Coleman comes in a bit high for ball one. Fletcher did pitch. He was all three of the guys that normally are weekend starters for Roseburg all pitched. I guess all three pitchers that are normally starters for Roseburg did pitch on Tuesday. It's a pop fly in the air towards shallow right field. Mason Young going out for it. The second baseman makes the catch to retire the leadoff man, Morgan. On Tuesday, Roseburg used 5 pitchers. Wirtz, Corba, and Coleman all pitched. Those are their 3 usual starters. Fletcher Coleman went an inning and a third. He had 3 walks, 1 strikeout, didn't give up a hit or a run, but they pulled him out so that they could keep him available for the weekend. And he will fire a first pitch strike 1 to Braden Poff. Poff, the center fielder. An 0-1 pitch is low from Coleman, 1-1 count. Tuesday was interesting. As we mentioned, it went awry early with Danner Wirtz, the starter, having to come out of the game due to injury early on. 1-1 pitch just underneath the hands. Ball 2. Roseburg using 5 pitchers. Medford using 4 in that game on Tuesday. Just off the outside corner for Coleman, and he falls behind 3-1 here against Braden Poff. Sun has poked out. The clouds have started to part just a bit. The winds have died down, and the rains have stopped. There's a 3-1 pitch in for a strike. So the weather conditions have improved for Game 2 of our doubleheader after a conclusion to Game 1 that was mired in wetness. As a ball slapped right side, drops in, lands between Rylan Glasser, the right fielder, and second baseman Mason Young. As Poff will have a 1-out single to right field. Defensive swing, pokes it the opposite direction and finds a way on base. Brings up the 3-hitter, the catcher, Brady Patterson. Patterson bats left-handed, even with the lefty on the mound. He'll take strike 1. Pretty sure he's a right-handed thrower, if I remember correctly, when he's out there defensively at the catcher position. So right-handed thrower, but a left-handed batter. 0-1 pitch from Coleman. Just misses off the outside corner. Fletcher with a man at first and 1 out, looking for a ground ball for his middle infielders. Swing and a miss. Big cut at a pitch that was up for strike 2. Brady Patterson walked a couple of times in the opening game. He's got a 1-2 count. Pitch is low and out at first base. Poff does not try to advance. Sutherland baseball team seems to be here in attendance today. They've come out to check things out and hang out here at the ballpark. Cool to see. They've been on a bit of an upswing here in the tail end of the season as a pickoff throw to first base, not in time. The officials have rotated around. You've got Austin Stone behind the plate calling balls and strikes. At first base, Garrett Satfield, and Dan Bachmeyer is on the left side of the diamond. As a pitch in, the 2-2, strike 3 called. And Patterson watches for the first strikeout in the game by Fletcher Coleman. 2 down. Brings up Quincy Ballard, the first baseman, starting pitcher in Game 1 that took the loss. Ballard, another lefty. The string of 3 straight lefties to start is another pickoff throw to first by Coleman. Ballard waits on the first pitch. It's low, picked off the turf by Bowers behind the plate. Well, the season has come to an end for the Umpqua Riverhawks baseball team. It ends early as Edmonds gets a 10-run rule victory after 7 in that one. Runner going. The throw was low, and unable to get a good handle on it was Amos Bowers behind the plate, so he does not get a chance to throw down to second base. Braden Poff will steal second, get himself into scoring position with 2 outs. A 2-0 count at the plate to Quincy Ballard. 13-3 the final score. Game 2 of that best-of-3 series. There's a pitch in for a strike on the inside corner. A 2-1 count for Ballard. So the Riverhawks finish out their season. They almost stole Game 1 in that best-of-3 series yesterday. They took a lead in the top of the 7th, but couldn't hang on to it. Or excuse me, in the top of the 9th. Couldn't hang on to it in the bottom of the 9th. As a walk-off victory for Edmonds in Game 1 of the best-of-3 series yesterday. Game 2, Edmonds closes it out with a 13-3 victory. And that'll end the season for the Umpqua Riverhawks, short of getting back to the conference tournament for a second straight year. They made it for the first time in program history last season, but could not get back this year. 2-2 pitch. Ball hit left side with the gap wide open at short, out into left field, bobbled by Ruiz, and he cannot get a throw in time. Nick bobbled it. Looked like he was going to get a chance to pick it up, but then couldn't get it into his hand cleanly again, and the double bobble in left field allows Braden Poff to come in to score, make it 1-0 North Medford in front, their first lead of the day. Still at first base is Quincy Ballard after the base hit. Up to bat will be Cade Pedersen, the pitcher here in Game 2. He takes high for ball 1. With Paxton Burke holding the runner on at second, that left side of the diamond was wide open, and Ballard just pokes it right through. If Ruiz had fielded it cleanly, they were probably going to hold the runner off, but because he knocked it down, kept it in front of him as he went to try and pick it up so that he could throw it back in, he couldn't get it off the turf cleanly, bobbled it a second time, and that hesitation there allowed Poff to come in to score. Initially, he was holding as a pitch high, 2-0 count here for Pedersen. So I think that'll be an error in left field and an unearned run against Fletcher Coleman. A 2-0 pitch to the lefty Pedersen. Swings through for strike 1. Fletcher Coleman, the junior lefty, making his eighth start of the year, his 9th appearance. Coleman has thrown 34 1/3 innings. He's got a 1-3 record on the year, 3.67 ERA. Bit unlucky on the win-loss record. A 2-1 pitch. This is low. Falls behind 3 balls and a strike with 2 outs and a man at first. North Medford with a couple of hits here in the first inning, but an error comes back to hurt him just a bit. That ball is belted high in the air to right field, going back to the wall and in foul territory. That ball will carry out of play and out of the stadium. That'll be strike 2. A long strike there for Pedersen. Got a hold of it up into the air down that right field line. Might have had a chance to get out of here if he had kept it fair, but that ball was well fouled down the right field side. 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss and a strikeout to polish off the first inning for Fletcher Coleman. But North Medford will get on the board to get things started here in the first. A 1-0 lead as we go to the bottom of the first inning on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Defensively for the Black Tornado.
Bottom of the first inning. Take a look at the starting lineup for the Roseburg Indians, led by Coach Troy Thompson, brought to you by Southern Septic Service. Paxton Burke, the shortstop, leads off, followed by Fletcher Coleman, the pitcher. Christian Corba, the center fielder, will bat third. The DH in Game 2 is going to be Grayson Coate batting in the cleanup spot. A.J. Black at third base, batting fifth. Brady Popkin, the first baseman, will hit sixth. Batting seventh is Nick Ruiz, the left fielder. Amos Bowers, the catcher, batting eighth. And Mason Young, the second baseman, rounds out the starting 9 for the Indians. The DH being utilized for right fielder Rylan Glasser. On the mound, it's another lefty for North Medford. Pitch low, ball 1 from starting pitcher Cade Pedersen. Ball lifted foul over the right side, out of play by Paxton Burke, who for the first time maybe in a long time might have every at-bat this today right-handed. Takes high on the 1-1, a 2-1 count. The switch hitter, he normally bats left-handed with high school baseball dominated by right-handed pitching, but Medford a couple of lefties today. Ball popped up on the infield, and it'll be the shortstop, Benny Morgan, that makes the catch to start things here in the bottom of the first. One away, North Medford leading 1-0 after the visiting half of the first inning.
Pitcher number 9, Fletcher Coleman.
Fletcher Coleman will bat. One out, nobody on, looking to help his own cause here. On the mound, Cade Pedersen steps off. Missing outside, ball one to get things started. Coleman will foul away the 1-0 offering. Pedersen, a junior. Not a lot of seniors on the North Medford squad as a pitch low, 2-1 count. North Medford just 3 seniors on their roster that they'll be celebrating in their final game of the regular season on Thursday. Ball fouled back by Coleman, 2-2 count. North Medford will play their final game Thursday at home against West Salem, a non-leaguer. 2-2 pitch. Fouled off by Coleman. Two-two delivery from Pedersen. Another one fouled off as Coleman will hang in there. We'll take a look defensively at North Medford here as time allows. Should also get a chance at a legal ID in here. So just a heads up, that'll be coming back in the studio. 2-2 pitch for Fletcher Coleman. Pedersen gets a swing and a miss. It's dropped. A race down to first base by Coleman, and the throw will get him. Let's go ahead and pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Roseburg Baseball here on The Score.
Next batter, center fielder number 4, Christian Corba.
2 down. Christian Corba will come up to bat. Had 3 hits in game 1, a couple of infield singles in there. He takes one at the knees for strike 1 from Pedersen. We've got a balloon on the loose behind home plate, into the netting behind home. The 0-1 is fouled back. And that balloon is going to live forever in the roof behind home here at Champion Car Wash Field. Pitch high on the 0-2 pitch to Corba. Couldn't get him to chase after it. Pedersen's 1-2. Swing and a miss, and he will strike out a pair here in the first inning as North Medford will hang on to a 1-0 lead after 1 inning of play. Roseburg goes down 1-2-3 in the first inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. 1-0, North Medford in front. Head to the top of the second on 541radio.com and on The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
My wife and I moved to Oregon to raise a family, set our roots, and to have a lot of fun outdoors. We quickly realized that we needed a truck or a rig for the projects that we were doing in the backyard. When we were looking to find a place to finance our truck, we asked our patients, and everyone recommended Cascade Community Credit Union. It was so easy to work with Cascade. Everything was done via email, phone, and we didn't even need to go in. I can't wait to finish up the projects in the backyard, go on more adventures in our truck with our boys, and I look forward to working with Cascade again in the future.
Successful companies have a very important secret. Good advertising works and makes them money. That's why your business should contact Lotus Media Group. Let us help you cash in with multimedia advertising. Multiple touches from Douglas County's only Google certified partner and most effective advertising platform. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen. LotusMediaGroupLLC.com.
Top of the second inning, today's game brought to you by Barnes Heating and Cooling, your complete energy company. Visit barnesheatingandcooling.com or give them a call at 541-459-1545. Reese Thompson will lead things off for North Medford. One unearned run in this ballgame so far. The difference as the Black Tornado take the early advantage. Pitch low, ball 1 to Thompson from Fletcher Coleman. Fletcher out of his windup. Catches the outside corner for a 1-1 count. We've got lefties going at it. Both of them wearing the number 9, by the way, as well. I thought that was interesting. The 1-1 from Coleman. Slapped right side for a base knock. Third hit in the game for the Black Tornado. Leadoff single for Thompson, who has been a pretty tough hitter to get out in this series so far. Thompson's aboard with nobody out. Today's game also brought to you by Flyaway Travel. Contact the travel experts at Travel Leader Flyaway Travel. Make sure that you have an agent in your corner. Call 541-672-5701. Man at first, nobody out. Colston Stoller squares to bunt. He'll take low for ball 1. Popkin holding the runner on at first. Stoller will dig back in, facing the lefty. Squares to bunt. He'll put it down first base side. It is fielded by Coleman. He will turn and fire to first. Sacrifice bunt by Stoller moves a runner into scoring position. Thompson up to second base. With being a lefty, Coleman had to field that and then kind of take an awkward spin to be able to get himself in position to throw to first base. But he had time. Connor Roush will bat. First pitch is strike 1. Roush batting in the 8th spot, starting in right field. Another strike in there for Coleman. 0-2 count. Ooh. The 0-2 pitch buzzing the tower, ducking out of the way for Roush. Out at second base, Reese Thompson after his leadoff single with 1 out. Sack bunt got him into second base. Time called before the next pitch. Sun poking its way through. A lot of clouds overhead and a little bit of blue sky poking through off in the distance. But as it is right now, we are dry with sun coming down here at Champion Car Wash Field. Pickoff throw to second base is offline. Gets into center field, but Corba's there to back it up. A 1-2 count for Fletcher Coleman. Taking a moment to get himself settled on the mound. Will come set. Delivers just a bit high. 2-2. Connor Roush, senior, one of the few on this roster for North Medford, along with Benny Morgan. As he pops one up, right side, foul territory, giving chase is Popkin. He's into the North Medford dugout as that ball will land in the dugout for the Black Tornado and then bounce up onto the roof and out of play. We've got Benny Morgan, one of the seniors, Connor Roush, and then Colston Stoller. Your 3 seniors on the roster for North Medford, all of them in the starting lineup here in Game 2 as well as in Game 1. 2-2 pitch, out in front of the off-speed. Roush goes down swinging. Third strikeout in the game for Fletcher. There's 2 away. That's a much-needed strikeout there for the Indians with a man in scoring position. Kyson Scheid will bat, the 9-hitter, starting at second base.
Kyson Scheid.
First pitch is elevated, a 1-0 count. North Medford will have a non-leaguer next week as the conference season comes to a close here today. Roseburg initially not scheduled, but they might add something as the ball fouled back. 1-1. Apparently, talking with Coach Thompson in the pregame, apparently there is a conversation happening with Sheldon on maybe putting a non-leaguer on the schedule next week. It would really be an exhibition, and it would be it wouldn't count towards RPI or anything, all the power ranking stuff. So breaking ball just above the zone, a 2-1 count for Coleman against Kyson Scheid. So it would mainly just be to try to make sure you don't get too rusty with a week off next week before the playoffs, and a chance to see a good team that's got a chance to make a deep run and help Roseburg stay in that competitive mindset. As a pitch high, 3-1 count for Fletcher Coleman and Kyson Scheid, and a visit out to the mound for Amos Bowers. So that might be on the schedule next week. If they do, in fact, get that one all set up to go, we will not be there to broadcast it. I had actually planned ahead of time and taken Tuesday off of work next week, so I will not be in town to be able to jump on that one. So apologize that we won't be there to bring you that if they do play it, but them's the breaks, I guess. A 3-1 count to the 9-hitter Scheid. And it gets by Bowers to the backstop. That'll move the runner up from second 90 feet as down to first base goes Scheid with the walk. And now the top of the order comes up to bat, and they have been difficult. Benny Morgan will come up to bat. He flew out to the second baseman to start out the ball game. And he will have an opportunity to try and stretch out a one-run lead for North Medford. On top 1-0 here in the second. They scored in the first inning. Morgan fouls back the first pitch. He has been an aggressive hitter. I was going to say, throw him something close to the zone, but not necessarily in it. And see if he'll go after it. He's been an aggressive batter going after that first pitch most of the time. He does so there, fouled it back. The 0-1, ground ball up to second base, knocked down by Young, but he side flips it to Burke at second base. They will get Scheid there on the force out. And that will finish things off here in the second inning for North Medford. A fielder's choice for Morgan. And he's unable to drive in a run. So it'll stay a 1-0 lead as we go to the bottom of the second. Roseburg trailing against North Medford coming up to bat on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM at 1490 AM.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
At Roseburg Disposal, we're dedicated to meeting your garbage service needs. Started in 1932 by brothers Norm and Orville John, Roseburg Disposal continues to be owned and operated by the John family today, now in its third generation. Providing residential and commercial garbage disposal and recycling, we serve the greater Roseburg area. Invested in our community. Our company has participated in many community projects, both financially and through donated services. Committed to our customers and our community, Roseburg Disposal.
First pitch here in the second, a line drive comebacker right to the mound, knocked down, and a play made at first by the pitcher, Cade Pedersen. Wow. The comebacker right at the mound for Pedersen. He gloves it, knocked it down, and was able to stay with it, gets Grayson Coate at first base. Nice job by Pedersen to stay with that play and make the out at first. One away on the comebacker. First pitch swinging away for A.J. Black. Fouls it back for strike one. Well, how do you do? Quick one there on the comeback from the commercial break. Pitch high, 1-1 count for A.J. So A.J. Black up to bat with one out and nobody on base. Batting fifth in the lineup. Swings after a pitch low for strike two. That was some impressive reaction time on the mound there by Pat Pedersen, and it was a good thing, too, that he got his glove on that. It was right at his head as a pitch just outside. Couldn't get the call, couldn't get the chase. Pedersen, a 2-2 pitch coming up for Black. Check swing, dribbler back to the mound, fielded by Pedersen. This time, much more time to make the play, and he will retire AJ. 2 down. Check swing dribbler there. Brady Popkin will bat.
First baseman number 14, Brady Popkin.
On the mound, Pedersen, quick worker out there. He does not take a lot of time in between innings, and he does not take long to get the pitch he wants and get into his motion. Catches the outside corner for strike 1 to Brady Popkin. Today's game brought to you by DC Farmers Co-op, where everyone is welcome to shop. Ground ball left side. It's to the third baseman. Picked up and throw across by Thompson. And that'll do it. A quick 1-2-3. Bottom of the second inning for the Roseburg Indians. We will head to the top of the third. It's 1-0 North Medford in front of the Indians on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
To expand your portfolio, consolidate your investments with Palm Wealth Management. Our trusted team makes it easy to diversify and track your investments. Let Palm Wealth Management coordinate your financial strategy. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
When it comes to finances, it can be hard to know what's in your best interest. Experience the strength of advice at Palm Wealth Management. From education and estate planning to retirement and the unexpected, we can help. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
Top of the third inning, a 1-0 lead for North Medford against Roseburg. Fletcher Coleman will face Braden Poff for a second time. He had a single and scored the only run of the game so far. Takes low and inside for ball 1. Today's contest brought to you by Cascade Community Credit Union, belong to Douglas County. Fire right now, the final game of the regular season for Roseburg, barring the addition of kind of just an exhibition game to the schedule next week. It wouldn't really hold any sort of significance towards anything for the postseason. But a chance to try and just kind of sharpen yourself up heading to a first-round game. 1-1 pitch just outside, 2-1 count. Roseburg trying to pull off a sweep against North Medford this season. They've won the first two. 2-1 pitch is low from Coleman. He falls behind 3-1. Got a lot of college baseball going on today. College softball happening up in Eugene as well. It's a 3-1 pitch. Misses low again. A walk issued to the leadoff man here in the third. Heart of the order coming up here. Not a spot you want to give up extra bases to guys and give them the opportunity to add to this 1-0 lead. Brady Patterson, a strikeout looking in the first inning. Patterson shows a bunt, gets it down first base side. He pulls it all the way out there, race to the bag in time to get him. Sacrifice bunt, rolls all the way to Brady Popkin at first base. And he steps on the pillow just in the nick of time to retire Patterson as he goes diving in. Yeah, got there just ahead of the runner. Sack bunt by Patterson. Up to second base goes Poff. First pitch low and inside now to Quincy Ballard. 1 out. Man in scoring position. High, 2-0 count for Ballard. Let's check in. Oregon State leading 1-0 in the top of the third against Air Force. The rubber match in that one. 2-0 pitch, called strike one. Oregon State losing yesterday against Air Force, not a game that they really could afford to drop. They've had a couple of games this year that they just, not games they should have lost. As a pitch low, goes between the legs for Bowers, and up to third base goes Poff. So now a man at third base with just one out, and it's a 3-1 count for Ballard. Infield will draw in with the man at third and less than 2 outs. The 3-1 pitch popped up out of play, strike two. And a chance at the strikeout now for Fletcher. That would be big for Roseburg. Three-two pitch, misses for ball four. Second walk here in the third inning. Third walk in the game for Fletcher. Runners on the corners with one out. Cade Pedersen, the pitcher, a strikeout in the first, will step up with an opportunity to help his own case here. They'll play back up the middle with the hopes of turning two. Squaring to bunt, the ball goes out of the glove for Amos Bowers. Everybody holds on the bases. Ball popped out of the glove for Bowers. He had to chase it, but it didn't get away too far, and so the runners all decide to stay where they were. Surprised that Ballard didn't try to run at first. Pickoff throw to first base is low, picked up by Popkin over there. A 1-0 count right now for Pedersen. A 1-0 delivery for Fletcher Coleman. Swing and a miss. Breaking ball. Pedersen, excuse me. The 1-1 pitch to him. He squares the bunt. He'll push it foul down the third base side for strike two. A ball and 2 strikes for Pedersen. Fletcher Coleman trying to get a big second out here. The 1-2, he'll pick off over to first base again. A 1-2 count. Ooh, over the plate, but low. 2-2. Hanging in there, Pedersen. Chance to try and help stretch out the lead after a run in the first inning for North Medford. They lead at 1-0 here in the third. He'll pop this one up. It's sky high on the infield. Calling for it is the third baseman. A.J. Black makes the catch in fair territory. And that's a big second out for the Roseburg Indians. Pedersen pops it up on the infield just in front of home plate. 2 away. Runners on the corners. And it'll bring up Reese Thompson, the third baseman, a single to right field in his first at-bat. First pitch gets away from Bowers. He'll get to it, but the runner from first moves up to second. Ballard stays out of the force out there at second with that. A wild pitch moves him up 90 feet. Base hit now could possibly score a couple for North Medford. The 1-0 from Coleman. Over the plate for a strike. Reese Thompson's been a tough guy to get out. The 1-1 pitch to him. Sends that one foul at Chopper down the line on the third base side. The softball matchup, Oregon taking on Mississippi State in the winner's side of the bracket in the Eugene Regional at Jane Sanders. And softball up there. Mississippi State leading 2-0 in that one against the Ducks in the second inning. 1-2 pitch. Gets to the backstop. Runner will come in. The throw to the plate. Not going to get there in time. So wild pitch will score a run. Poff scores for a second time in this game. He's come in to score on an error and come in to score on a wild pitch. He makes it a 2-0 game in favor of North Medford. Reese Thompson still at the plate with a 2-2 count. Up to third base went Quincy Ballard. And now a hit batter. So Thompson will get on base again. Got him just there above the elbow on that front arm. So it puts runners on the corners again. Still just 2 outs here in the third inning for North Medford. They've had a walk, sac bunt, a walk, fly out on the infield, now a hit batter. There's been no hits here in this third inning for North Medford, yet they have manufactured a run and lead it 2-0. On the other side, Cade Pedersen has been lights out so far against Roseburg. Swing and a miss on the first offering to Colston Staller. The sac bunt is first time up. An 0-1 count. Pitch just low on the outer half. Couldn't get the hitter to chase at it. Coleman's been nibbling around the strike zone quite a bit here and has not been able to get hitters to chase after those pitches near the zone. A 1-1 count to Staller. Pops it up foul, right side. It will get out of play as Rylan Glasser chases it out that direction. That'll be strike 2 for Colston Staller. Batting with runners at first and third. A 2-0 lead for North Medford here in the top of the third inning. Coleman needs one more to get through this. The runner takes off from first. He steps off, throws to second base. The runner at third breaks to the plate, but no throw by Burke. The runner goes home. They've got to try to get it out now. A run will score out of all of this. My apologies for those watching. A run comes in to score. Parady Popkin got it, but he was not in position to be able to throw to the plate to try and get the runner as he was going home. So the run scores before they get that final out on the rundown between Thompson, between first and second. So it's 3-0. North Medford comes in to score as we go to the bottom of the third here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
For over 100 years, Douglas County Farmers Co-op has been serving the needs of farmers, ranchers, and homeowners throughout Southern Oregon. Here, everyone is welcome. When you shop with us, you can expect good people, good products, and good advice. No membership needed. Just bring yourself, and we'll provide the expertise and products you need to tackle your next project. Douglas County Farmers Co-op, where everyone is welcome to shop.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck, yes. That'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Oregon, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
On the third inning, first batter is Nick Ruiz.
Nick Ruiz will lead things off for Roseburg. A big swing and a miss on the first pitch from Cade Pedersen, who now has a 3-0 lead to protect. He'll get Ruiz to swing after another one for strike 2. Oh, 2 count. Just a bit outside. A 1-2 count now for Ruiz, the 7-hitter in the lineup. Here in the third inning for Roseburg, the 7, 8, 9 hitters due up. The 1-2 bounces in front of the plate. Nearly hit Ruiz, but it doesn't. Just misses him. Nick has been one of the guys most hit on the roster for Roseburg. Fouls off a pitch to stay alive. Ruiz on the season, 7 times he's been hit by a pitch. That is tied with Amos Bowers for the most. Bowers was hit by a pitch in the game on Tuesday, so that evened him up. 2-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. Pedersen's been very good on the mound so far for the Black Tornado. That's his 3rd strikeout in the game. It starts off the bottom of the 3rd
11,
with a K. All of his strikeouts so far have been strikeouts swinging. Bowers shows a bunt, will take a breaking ball high for a 1-0 count. Today's game brought to you by Dr. Lance and Randall, Family and Cosmetic Dentistry. Call 541-378-6694 or visit drrandall.com. Ball fouled away by Amos. Amos has a 1-1 count here. Bowers, first at bat, takes inside. Two-one pitch, popped up right side, and well out of play for strike 2. Pull things up here. North Medford won game 1 of the softball game. The softball doubleheader, 10-5, the final score there. North Medford taking game 2 in that 3-game series against Roseburg. As Bowers fouls off another one, stays alive. Two teams will meet again. Doesn't look like they're in action just yet over there at the softball field. Strike 3 called. Bowers watches it go by. There's 2 down. 4th strikeout in the game for Pedersen, and it brings up the 9-hitter Mason Young. Roseburg trying to get a man on base, and Young fouls it down the right field side. Went after that first pitch, just behind on it, a little late. Poked it to the opposite side, foul. The 0-1. That ball right side, short hop, and it's going to get by Scheid. Knocked it down. He will not be able to make a play on it. Had to leave his feet trying to get to it while it was still in the air. Tried to play it on the short hop, could not do so. On safely is Mason Young. Mason Young will be the first man on base for the Roseburg Indians. Top of the order, back up. Elevated on the first delivery to Paxton Burke for ball 1. Burke flew out to the shortstop to lead off the game for Roseburg. He'll pull one towards left field. Well struck. Going back is Stoller. He's spinning and turning. Can't find it. It'll bounce to the wall, and it goes over. That's going to save North Medford. That ball one hops off the track out in deep left field by Paxton Burke, and it goes over the wall. It would have probably driven in a run and might have been a triple for Burke, but Mason Young would have definitely had a chance to score with 2 outs. But because that gets up and over the wall, it's a ground rule double, and Young has no other option but to stop at third base. So a double for Burke. Now up to bat, Fletcher Coleman, a swing and a miss for strike 1. Fletcher looking to help his own case here. He struck out swinging in the first. Fouls off a pitch for strike 2. Roseburg's down 3-0. They'd like to try and get a 2-out run here to see if they can cut into the deficit just a bit. On the mound, Cade Pedersen's been untouchable until things here in the third inning. He's got some good velo, but Roseburg maybe timing him up a bit. Swing and a miss on the 0-2. Fletcher Coleman goes down to finish things off here in the bottom of the third. So the Indians will leave a couple of men in scoring position, and they trail 3-0 as we head to the top of the fourth. It is 3-0, North Medford in front on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Roseburg Disposal, we're dedicated to meeting your garbage service needs. Started in 1932 by brothers Norm and Orville John, Roseburg Disposal continues to be owned and operated by the John family today, now in its third generation. Providing residential and commercial garbage disposal and recycling, we serve the greater Roseburg area. Invested in our community, our company has participated in many community projects, both financially and through donated services. Committed to our customers and our community, Roseburg Disposal.
Everest, K2, and now the Mountain by Mountain Mike's Pizza. The biggest pizza this side of the Rockies. The mountain-sized pizza is a massive 20 inches wide, delivering 20 slices and a mountain of toppings. Made with the freshest and finest ingredients. Dough made fresh daily with 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings to the edge. It's time to go big. Order yours now by using our mobile app.
Moving out to the top of the fourth inning. First batter, Colston Stoller.
Start off the fourth inning. First pitch swung on and fouled away by the leadoff batter for North Medford. It is Colston Stoller. He was up to bat when the final out was made on the bases for North Medford. A double steal that resulted in a run, but the final out. Ball lifted left side. Down the line, long run for Nick Ruiz. He'll slide to knock it down, but he gets lost underneath him. Takes a minute to get it back in, and into second base, no problem, is Colston Stoller. Pretty sure he was getting a double, or at least going to try to get a double out of that. There was hopes that maybe Nick might be able to get a throw back in quickly to see if they could catch him trying to get into second. But a sliding stop by Nick to make sure it didn't get by him, and it got kind of trapped underneath him. So it took him a second to get up and find the baseball and get it back in. So a leadoff double for the North Medford Black Tornado. That'll be their first extra base hit in the ballgame. Squaring to bunt, it's popped up back into the netting for strike one by Connor Roush. Black Tornado have been able to keep the pressure on against Roseburg. They have not. I think actually every inning they've been able to get guys into scoring position. Squaring to bunt again. It's outside, out at second base. Racing back to the bag goes Stoller. 1-1 count. Playing in at first base is Popkin. They've got Mason Young playing in a bit too at second, ready to help cover first if need be. The 1-1 is outside. 2 balls and a strike here for Roush. Roush takes his moment. Will step into the box. A 2-1 pitch. He's out in front of it. Strike 2. I was going to see if Roseburg had inputted the score from Game 1 and how that might have adjusted things in the power rankings after the first game of our doubleheader. But it hasn't been updated online yet, so we'll probably know more later tonight. 2-2 pitch to Roush. It is outside the zone. 3-2 count. Second game of a doubleheader, final game in this 3-game set this week between Roseburg and North Medford. The Indians took the first 2, but they trail 3-0. Swing and a miss. Big strikeout there for Coleman. He'll get Roush for a second time, and that is the 4th strikeout in the game for Fletcher. 1 away. Kyson Scheid will bat. He walked in the second inning. Fletcher, pickoff throw to second base, get the tag down, and they'll say he's out at second. They pick off Stoller at second base. Tag put down out there at the bag, and the bases are cleared. First pitch swinging away. That ball foul territory. Glasser giving chase, runs out of room. Here was that pickoff again out at second base for those that are watching online. Burke sneaks back behind, got that tag down quick, and got the out. Another ball fouled away. Kyson Scheid behind 0-2. Coleman delivers, another one lifted towards right field. Rylan Glasser comes up and makes the catch, and that will finish off the top of the fourth inning. A little bit of defense helping out the Roseburg Indians as they get the bottom of the order there. No runs on one hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. A leadoff double. North Medford cannot add to their lead. We go to the bottom of the fourth on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM at 1490 AM.
Deciding where to purchase your next vehicle is just as important as the vehicle itself. At Roseburg Honda, our seasoned staff is dedicated to matching you with the right car. From sales to service, our goal is to make sure all of your needs are met, and you leave our dealership feeling good every time you visit. No need to waste your valuable time driving up and down the freeway when the ultimate car buying experience is right here at home. Roseburg Honda. We treat you like family.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck, yes. That'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Oregon, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Christian Corba will lead things off for Roseburg. Takes low for ball one as we get things started in the bottom of the fourth. Corba will take high for ball two. Cade Pedersen on the mound. He's given up 2 hits. They didn't come until the third inning, but he has thrown a shutout so far. Two-0 pitch. Slapped right side down the line. That could be trouble. That's going to be a fair ball. It bounces to the wall. Long run out there for Roush. Heading for third will go Corba. The relay throw cut off at second, and he's in with a leadoff triple. The freshman continues to pound the baseball, and he's now got a 9-game hit streak going. That ball down the right side just landed fair. And with a hit in both games today, he has stretched his hit streak to 9 games, and he has been hitting really well in his freshman campaign. Pitch high and away, ball one now to Grayson Coate, the sophomore DHing here in game 2. Coate will take outside, 2-0 count from Pedersen. So the Roseburg Indians maybe starting to figure out Pedersen just a little bit after he started red hot on the mound. His 2-0 pitch is elevated, 3-0 count. Corba, a leadoff triple. And there's ball 4, first walk of the game for Pedersen. Grayson Coate will find a way on base. Brings up A.J. Black. And a visit out to the mound for the North Medford coaching staff. With a break in the action, we can tell you today's game is brought to you by First Choice Health Insurance. First Choice Health Insurance, your trusted team for all of your insurance needs. Grayson Coate didn't play in game 1, utilized as a DH here in game 2. The sophomore was batting .294 coming into today's game. He draws the walk there. That is number 4 on the season for him. Roseburg, just 4 seniors on the roster. We talked about them in between games here today, and they got acknowledged before the day started. Brady Popkin, Amos Bowers, Riley Cheney, and Paxton Burke, your 4 seniors this year. But Roseburg, they've had a lot of youth out there. You look at it, you've got Coleman, Corba, Coate, Black, Ruiz, Young in the starting lineup here. Glasser playing defensively. They are all possibly coming back next year as a swing and a miss on the first pitch to A.J. Black. North Medford is going to be in a similar spot, too, with just 3 seniors on their roster. The 0-1 bounces in front of the plate out at first base. Coate gave it a look, does not try to take off. So these are 2 teams that are going to be bringing back a lot of talent from this year's squad. A 1-1 pitch, showing a bunt, taking low, throw down to first. And they will get Grayson Coate off the bag at first for the first out here in the 4th. A 2-1 count at the plate for for Black, but Coate is picked off at first base on the throw by Patterson. Coate trying to get a big lead in case the bunt got laid down and he couldn't get back to the bag in time. 2-1 pitch to A.J. He hits one right side. It's going to go to the second baseman. They'll get the out at first. It will bring in a run, and Roseburg's on the board for the first time today. Scheid slipped a little bit on the wet turf. But a RBI ground out for A.J. Black. 2 away. Corba came in to score. First pitch low for ball 1 to Brady Popkin, who grounded out to third in his first at-bat. Pitch is up, 2-0 count. Catching the outside corner. Popkin takes strike 1. Bounces in front of the plate. Brady Popkin with a 3-1 count. It's been impressive with Brady. Obviously getting opportunities to hit, and he's been able to take advantage, but the guy does not strike out as that ball is laced foul over the top of the North Medford dugout. 3-2 count with 2 down. Nobody on base. Roseburg on the board for the first time here in the 4th. And he'll take ball 4. Popkin will earn the walk there. I was just saying, like, the guy, he's a good contact hitter, has a good eye, and he, in his last 6 games coming into today's action, had only struck out once. He didn't strike out in game 1, hasn't struck out here in game 2, so that continues to be a pretty good stat for him. Strike 1 on the first pitch to Nick Ruiz. Ground ball, headed on the first base side. Racing to the bag himself will be the first baseman Ballard for the out. So Nick grounds out, and that'll finish things here in the 4th inning. Roseburg gets 1 on the board, and it is a 3-1 lead. North Medford in front as we head to the top of the 5th on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM. Here at Champion Car Wash Field for what I'm pretty sure will be the final time here in 2026 for Roseburg. At least it will be for us broadcasting Roseburg. It's a pitch in for a strike to start things off for Fletcher Coleman. Out in front, got a piece of it, fouling it off. Leadoff man for North Medford. Leadoff man this inning, and the leadoff man in on the batting order, Benny Morgan. He's 0 for 2 in the game. He's got an 0-2 pitch. Hits this one in the air to right field. Going back is Glasser. That ball carried a lot more than it looked like it was going to off the bat. Glasser does a nice job of tracking it down in right field, and there's one away. Roseburg may get a home game against Sheldon in here in this next week coming up. It'll be pretty much just an exhibition game. It'll count towards their official record for the season. There's a pitch high and away. If they do play it. Nothing's official yet, but it would count towards their record. It just wouldn't count towards their power ranking. This ball in the air again, right side. Brady Popkin following this one into foul territory, snags it out of the air. There's 2 down. And Fletcher Coleman in the defense able to get the first 2 outs quickly here in the top of the 5th, trailing 3-1. There's a cutoff date somewhere in the season where you have to get games on the schedule before that. You can't just randomly add games at the end of the year because teams would stack it up at the end of the year to try and play teams with high power rankings to try and change your ranking for the postseason. There's a pitch high, ball 1 to the lefty Brady Patterson. So there's a specific date that you have to get games on the schedule and agreed to. And then after that, if you add things, they are games that do not affect your power ranking if they're scheduled after that. 1-0 pitch is in for a strike, 1-1 count. So if Roseburg were to add a game this next week against Sheldon, it would not count towards the power ranking, which is too bad. Sheldon's up there. 1-1 count. Fouled back by Brady Patterson, the catcher, who is 0 for 1 in the game with a sac bunt his last time up. The rankings will freeze next Thursday once all the games are played at the 6A level. The rankings freeze officially. The ball poked in the air, foul, third base side. It is caught by A.J. Black, and that is 3 fly ball outs for North Medford here in the 5th inning. A couple of them in foul territory. They go down in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on. A quick top half of the 5th. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Roseburg trailing 3-1 on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
My wife and I moved to Oregon to raise a family, set our roots, and to have a lot of fun outdoors. We quickly realized that we needed a truck or a rig for the projects that we were doing in the backyard. When we were looking to find a place to finance our truck, we asked our patients, and everyone recommended Cascade Community Credit Union. It was so easy to work with Cascade. Everything was done via email, phone, and we didn't even need to go in. I can't wait to finish up the projects in the backyard, go on more adventures in our truck with our boys, and I look forward to working with Cascade again in the future.
Successful companies have a very important secret. Good advertising works and makes them money. That's why your business should contact Lotus Media Group. Let us help you cash in with multimedia advertising. Multiple touches from Douglas County's only Google certified partner and most effective advertising platform. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen. LotusMediaGroupLLC.com.
Fifth inning action for you here from Champion Car Wash Field, brought to you by McClendon Smokehouse, a family-owned meat shop and smokehouse offering a wide selection, plus fresh produce, baked goods, and a general grocery selection. Stop by on West Harvard Avenue. Squaring to bunt, Amos Bowers will take strike 1 as he gets things started for Roseburg here in the 5th. The Indians trailing 3-1 against North Medford. Bowers fouls one back for strike 2. Got out on the front foot on that one. Bowers, Young, and Burke, your 3 batters due up here in the 5th for Roseburg as they get on the board in the 4th inning. RBI ground out for A.J. Black to get Roseburg a run across. High and inside on the 0-2 for Bowers, a 1-2 count. On the mound, Cade Pedersen. He's allowed 3 hits and just the 1 run. Pitch is high, 2-2. He has walked a couple of batters. Those both came in the 4th inning. Started out the game. He retired the first 8 batters in a row. 2-2, strike 3 called as Bowers watches a breaking ball hit the outside corner. And for Amos, that is his second strikeout in the game. 5th punch out. Make that the 6th punch out in the game for Cade Pedersen. Outside corner again, called for a strike. Mason Young behind 0-1. Mason had the first hit in the game for Roseburg. He'll take at the top of the zone for strike 2. He had a hot shot to the right side that was knocked down by Scheid, but couldn't field it cleanly. He was just able to get his glove just on it and kind of trickled into the outfield just a bit. And Young was able to get on base. He's got a 1-2 count. He'll take high for a 2-2 count. On deck is Paxton Burke, who's got a double in the ball game. High for ball 3. Battling his way back in, Mason Young. We'll see a full count pitch. Pedersen, breaking ball, roll it towards second. In front of it is Scheid. His throw to first, offline, and able to get, dang it, out at first. Mason Young got to first safely on the error, but he took a turn towards second, thinking he might have a chance to try and advance 90 feet. Backing up the play nicely was Patterson, the catcher, and because Mason Young turned towards second, that meant that he was fair game. And a nice throw by Patterson to get it to first. They turn around and apply the tag, and he's out trying to scramble back to the bag. Unlucky there for Mason Young. Smart baseball play by Patterson, backing it up and getting the ball to first. Paxton Burke fouls off a pitch. He's got an 0-2 count. So that was an error by the second baseman that got Mason Young on, but then tried to advance and got caught off the bag. Ground ball up the middle, sliding and off the leg of Scheid. That'll be a base hit for Paxton Burke up the middle. So Burke has himself his second hit in the game. 4th hit for Roseburg. A man at first with 2 down. First pitch in the turf for ball 1 to Fletcher Coleman. Coleman struck out twice so far in this one. That's a bit of a rarity there for him. Sends one way in the air, just into the outfield. Now back on the infield to shortstop. Benny Morgan makes the catch. That'll finish things off. Roseburg leaves a man stranded at first here in the 5th inning. They cannot cut into the deficit. They trail 3-1 as we will head to the top of the 6th inning here in Game 2 of our doubleheader on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
At Roseburg Disposal, we're dedicated to meeting your garbage service needs. Started in 1932 by brothers Norm and Orville John, Roseburg Disposal continues to be owned and operated by the John family today, now in its 3rd generation. Providing residential and commercial garbage disposal and recycling, we serve the greater Roseburg area. Invested in our community, our company has participated in many community projects, both financially and through donated services. Committed to our customers and our community, Roseburg Disposal.
Quincy Ballard will lead things off for North Medford. And he'll take one that bounces in for ball one. Ballard is 1 for 1 in the game, a walk and a single. He has scored a run.
From the sixth inning, it'll be Quincy Ballard to lead things off.
Ballard, the losing pitcher in game 1 for North Medford. Here in game 2, the Black Tornado leading 3-1. Looking for their first and only win in the series against Roseburg. 2-0 count. Fletcher Coleman out there working still for the Indians as the conditions have settled in. Ballard is out to a 3-0 count. Sun has kind of come out a bit more. The winds have calmed down. We haven't seen really any rain here in game 2. As Ballard will take ball 4. Did not see one close to the zone on that at bat. His second walk in the game. That is the 4th walk issued by Fletcher.
Number 9, Cade Pedersen.
No activity in the bullpen for Roseburg. There is double barrels going on in the bullpen for North Medford as they will. Thought maybe they were going to bring in a pinch runner for Ballard at first. I think maybe Brett Wolf might have been considering that, but then changed his mind. So Ballard will run at first. Cade Pedersen at the plate. 0 for 2 in this one. Takes high. Snap throw down to first. Popkin looked to try and turn and apply the tag, but back in safely was Ballard. Fletcher with a 1-0 pitch. Misses low again. He has not thrown a strike here in the 6th inning. My assumption is that Roseburg has somebody ready to go in if they decide to make a change here. So somebody probably out there defensively right now. Pedersen will pop one up, foul territory. A.J. Black looks like he's got a read on it. He's up against his own dugout. He reaches over, but he runs out of room. He's reaching over the railing. Riley Cheney goes scrambling out of the way, so did Danner Wirtz, and also Dylan Gregory down there. The 3 guys that Roseburg has in their dugout. It'll be strike 1 there for Pedersen. He'll hit one sharply up the middle. Goes to Burke. He takes it to the bag himself. Throws over to first base. And not able to scoop it up. Popkin couldn't finish off the double play. So a man on at first for North Medford. And an out at second. Low throw by Burke. Just missed out on finishing out the double play there.
Veterans number 11, Reese Thompson.
Brings up Reese Thompson with a man at first and 1 out. First pitch is high for ball 1. It was a nice job by Popkin to knock that ball down and not let it get by, but he couldn't get it into the webbing. Swing and a miss. Big cut by Reese Thompson. Do get a courtesy runner at first, and I believe, take a look at photo I took of the roster, the lineup card earlier. Is a throw down to second base. It's not going to really matter who was on at first. Tagged out at second base. I believe that was Pickens who tried to steal second as the courtesy runner for the pitcher, and he is caught stealing by Amos Bowers and Paxton Burke. 2 away. Nobody on base. 2-1 pitch. Misses. 3-1 count here for Reese Thompson. Fletcher winds and fires. Catches the outside corner to keep the at-bat alive. So a couple of base runners getting on here in the 6th inning for North Medford, but they have not been able to get past first. Foul ball. Thompson stays alive. Thompson a single and been hit by a pitch. Three-two pitch from Coleman. That ball slapped foul over the right side. I want to say thanks to Bowers Industrial, proud supporter of our local community and youth sports. Our pregame interview sponsor with Coach Troy Thompson. 3-2 again, fouled away by Reese Thompson. Also, thank our pregame show sponsor, Roseburg Disposal. Let them make the run to the dump for you. Give them a call at 673-7122. 3-2 pitch again. It's ball 4. First three batters all reach base for North Medford here in this 6th inning, but they had one with a force out at second, and then another runner got caught stealing, and so they have not been able to produce anything out of the fact that they've had three runners get on base here with 2 down. It'll be Colston Stoller that'll bat. He had a double to left field his last time up. Coleman, breaking ball, misses a bit up. 1-0 count. Coleman with Reese Thompson on at first. Swing in a, I think it was foul ball. Yeah, it must have been a foul tip at the plate. 1-1 count. At first I was thinking it was just a swing and a miss, but behind the plate, Austin Stone, our home plate umpire, throws the hands up, ruling a dead ball. 1-1. Swing and a miss for strike 2. We'll check in on some college scores here with you and when we get a chance. Getting to the later stages of our ball game here. Roseburg down to their final 6 outs to work with, trailing by 2. They will come up to bat and try to cut into that 3-1 deficit as a swing and a miss by Colston Stoller. That is strikeout number 5 on the game for Fletcher Coleman. Finishes things off here in the 6th. Some traffic on, but the defense helped them out. No runs on no hits. There were no errors, and he had 1 runner left on base. Go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Roseburg trailing 3-1 on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
To expand your portfolio? Consolidate your investments with Palm Wealth Management. Our trusted team makes it easy to diversify and track your investments. Let Palm Wealth Management coordinate your financial strategy. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
When it comes to finances, it can be hard to know what's in your best interest. Experience the strength of advice at Palm Wealth Management. From education and estate planning to retirement and the unexpected.
First pitch here in the 6th inning. It is a leadoff double for Christian Corba. Young man has a triple and now a double. He started off the 4th inning with a triple. Gets a double, a line drive shot just over the top of second base, finds the alley, and he finds his way to second base. And Roseburg will have the game-tying run at the plate in the form of Grayson Coate coming up to bat.
Grayson Coate.
Coate drew a walk in the 4th inning. He swings through the first pitch for strike 1. Roseburg trailing by a pair. Corba has scored the only run in the game. Came in that 4th inning. He's in scoring position already. The 0-1 pitch is outside, 1-1. Corba has been outstanding as a freshman this year. He's 2 for 3 in this game after having 3 hits in game 1. Coate takes one over the plate for strike 2. 1-2 count for the sophomore DH here in game 2. Pedersen on the mound, continuing to deal, is 1-2. He falls down as he delivers in, and it's strike 3, and he seems to be in a little bit of pain as he gets the strikeout. He gets up and he's on his feet, will walk around, but he slipped, kind of grabs at his right ankle, and now he is stretching things out here. And that'll prompt a visit out to the mound for the coaching staff. A strikeout looking for Grayson Coate, 1 away. 7th strikeout in the game for Pedersen. And they are going to let him walk it out, try to stretch out things with his ankle. Today's game brought to you by Gibbs RV Superstore. You got to get to Gibbs. And by Palm Wealth Management, a member of D.A. Davidson & Company, member SIPC. Leadoff double for the Indians. Trying to make sure that it does not go to waste. It's going to be A.J. Black up to bat. He drove in a run on a ground out in the 4th. He swings and fouls off the first pitch for strike 1. Roseburg does have Paxton Burke throwing in the bullpen. The 0-1, high. 1-1 count for A.J. Softball score, it is 2-0 North Medford in front of Roseburg in the bottom of the 2nd. A.J. flies one right side, out of play, chasing. The first baseman Ballard will not have a chance to get to it. 1-2 count. Roseburg girls with 1 out do get a runner on in the bottom of the 2nd, trying to come back in that one. No Beavers baseball in their final game of the regular season today because of Roseburg baseball. Pitch outside with the breaking ball, 2-2. But keeping you posted on the Beavers, they are leading 5-1 in the bottom of the 5th in their game against Air Force, the rubber match in that 3-game series. The 2-2. Fouled back by A.J. stays alive. The Beavs scored 4 runs in the 3rd inning to stretch that one out. 2-2 from Pedersen. High and away. Check swing. Did he go around? I would be surprised if they had said yes. No, it is a full count now for A.J. Oregon Ducks just getting started against USC. Rubber match of that series between number 17 USC and number 16 Oregon. 3-2 pitch. A.J. does go around that time. There's strike 3. 8th strikeout in the game for Pedersen. And he is trying to pitch around a leadoff double by Christian Corba. It'll be up to Brady Popkin to try and see if he can come up with a big hit once again for the Indians. He'll hit one up the middle. That's a pretty big hit. Corba is going to round at 3rd. He's headed for the plate. The relay throw is cut off. The throw to the plate, not in time. The senior Brady Popkin delivers again for the Indians. He gets them back within 1 on a 2-out single up the middle. Into shallow center field. Corba comes around from 2nd to score. And the Indians are within a 1 here in this one. Nice job by Popkin. First pitch, a strike. To Nick Ruiz here. Nick will swing through for strike 2. Corba has scored both runs in this game for the Indians. It's a 1-run ball game here. And there's a strikeout for Pedersen to finish off the frame. We'll head to the top of the 7th. Roseburg trailing 3-2. It's been a good pitcher's duel here. We will come back to see how it all finishes out when we return on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
For over 100 years, Douglas County Farmers Co-op has been serving the needs of farmers, ranchers, and homeowners throughout Southern Oregon. Here, everyone is welcome. When you shop with us, you can expect good people, good products, and good advice. No membership needed. Just bring yourself, and we'll provide the expertise and products you need to tackle your next project. Douglas County Farmers Co-op, where everyone is welcome to shop.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Oregon, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Top of the 7th inning, Roseburg will bring in a new arm on the mound. Christian Corba will take over. Christian's been red hot at the plate here today. He'll look to try and carry that over to the mound. He did pitch in that game on Tuesday for Roseburg. Didn't go very well for him. Corba came in, he pitched just 1 inning, allowed 7 runs on 2 hits, had 3 walks, 2 hit batters, and 1 strikeout. So hopefully a little bit of a different result for him here in this one. Roseburg's trailing by 1. Corba's first pitch low and outside, ball 1 to Connor Roush. The 8-9 one-hitters due up here in the 7th for North Medford. Roush has struck out twice, both against Fletcher Coleman, who will play in center field defensively. Ball fouled away, strike 1. So Corba comes in from center field, take over on the mound, and Fletcher Coleman goes from the mound to center field. Coleman pitched 6 innings in this one. A 1-1 pitch outside from Corba. Roush at the plate. He's 0 for 2 with the pair of strikeouts. The 2-1 misses over the plate but low. Corba, the freshman, out of the stretch, actually out of his windup, and he misses high and inside. A walk issued. Leadoff man gets aboard for North Medford. Connor Roush at first, and up to bat will be Kyson Scheid.
Batter number 5, Tyson Scheid.
Fletcher Coleman putting together the final line for him. Squaring to bunt, Scheid will pop it up foul for strike 1. And Coach Brett Wolf is going to call time to have a conversation with Scheid after that bunt attempt. So for Fletcher Coleman, 6 innings, he allowed 3 runs on 4 hits, 5 walks, 5 strikeouts, and 1 hit batter. He'll exit on the hook for the loss at the moment unless the offense can come up for a couple of runs in the bottom of the 7th. Scheid, after the meeting with Coach Wolf down the third base side, will step back in with nobody out, a man at first. An 0-1 pitch. He squares to bunt again. He'll put it down first base side. It'll be picked up by Corba, and he will get it to first in time. Great sack bunt, but also a great play defensively by the pitcher. Roush will move up to second base for North Medford with the top of the order coming up.
Top of the order for the Black Tornado.
Benny Morgan will stand in. He's 0 for 3 in the game, reached on a fielder's choice back in the second, but it was the fielder's choice that led to the final out of the frame. Takes low for ball 1. Oregon Ducks jump on USC in the first inning up at PK Park, 2-0. The Ducks leading the Trojans. .1-0 pitch, breaking ball, does not miss by much. 2-0 count. You can tune in for Oregon Ducks baseball on News Radio 93.9 FM and 1240 KQEN. 2-0 pitch from Corba is down the middle for a strike. And in the softball game up at Jane Sanders in Eugene, they're in the bottom of the fifth. Number 14 Oregon trailing unranked Mississippi State 4-0. It's a double elimination bracket, so the Ducks would not be eliminated with a loss. There's a ball in the air to right field. Going back, Rylan Glasser into foul territory, makes the catch, tagging and heading for third will go Roush. Nice job by Glasser to get to that baseball deep in the corner in right field. But it's deep enough to move the runner up 90 feet. And a leadoff walk, now a man at third with Braden Poff coming up to bat. There are 2 outs for North Medford. Roseburg trying to keep it just a 1-run deficit so that they don't have to make up too much of a gap going to the bottom of the 7th. For the Indians in the 7th inning, it'll be the 8-9-1 hitters coming up. First pitch to Braden Poff. Breaking ball outside, knocked down by Bowers as he watches the runner out at third. Poff, a single, a walk, and flew out to the first baseman, Brady Popkin. Poff has scored twice in this game. He takes for ball 2. Corba with a 2-0 pitch. It's over the plate for strike 1. 2 balls and a strike. Roseburg trying to get the final out here, and Bowers will tell Corba to step off the rubber. The 2-1 by Corba. Ground ball towards third, and it goes off the glove for A.J. Black. And a run will score for North Medford. Black got kind of caught in some indecision there on either charging that ball or trying to drop step to play it at third. He ended up drop stepping, but he ended up just a hair out of reach of the play. It goes off the end of his glove, and a run scores to make it a 2-run lead for North Medford. Put that down as an error at third base for AJ. On at first is Poff. First pitch misses for ball 1 to Brady Patterson. Patterson is 0 for 2 in the game, a sac bunt in the third. Sends one foul out of play for strike 1. 1-1 count with 2 down. Here in the top of the 7th. North Medford adding an insurance run back on the board. They're up by 2. Breaking ball. Ooh, looked pretty good there. Just misses. Wraps around the strike zone. A 2-1 pitch from Corba. That ball hit in the air out towards right field. On the run, Glasser out there will track it down in the alley. Circled underneath it for the final out. Top of the 7th inning is done, but a walk and then an error comes back to be costly for the Indians. They give up 1, trailing by 2. They've got some ground to make up as they go to their final at-bats here in the final game of this series against North Medford on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Roseburg Disposal, we're dedicated to meeting your garbage service needs. Started in 1932 by brothers Norm and Orville John, Roseburg Disposal continues to be owned and operated by the John family today, now in its 3rd generation. Providing residential and commercial garbage disposal and recycling, we serve the greater Roseburg area. Invested in our community, our company has participated in many community projects, both financially and through donated services. Committed to our customers and our community, Roseburg Disposal.
Everest, K2, and now the Mountain by Mountain Mike's Pizza. The biggest pizza this side of the Rockies. The mountain-sized pizza is a massive 20 inches wide, delivering 20 slices and a mountain of toppings. Made with the freshest and finest ingredients. Dough made fresh daily with 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings to the edge. It's time to go big. Order yours now by using our mobile app.
Today's game brought to you by Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be. And by Roseburg Country Club, established in 1922, offering an 18-hole course with excellent year-round playability. Find out more at roseburgcountryclub.com. Go to the bottom of the seventh. Roseburg down to their final 3 outs, needing to make up 2 runs to try and keep the game going, or 3 runs to walk off with a win and a sweep against the Black Tornado. On the mound, Cade Pedersen. It's been pretty good, but Roseburg starting to get to him a little bit here late. First pitch to Amos Bowers is low for ball 1. Just noticed in that softball game up in Eugene as a pitch low, 2-0. The Oregon Ducks right now are getting no hit through 5 innings against Mississippi State. 2-0 pitch. It's low for ball 3 to Amos Bowers as Pedersen has not found the strike zone yet. 3-0 pitch. Does find the strike zone on the 3-0. Bowers, 3-1. Takes ball 4. Pedersen on the mound. Just wasting no time getting through that at-bat. That was a 5-pitch at-bat that took maybe all of 45 seconds, felt like.
That is number 2, Mason Young.
A walk issued. By my tally, that's the 3rd in the game. Yep, 3rd in the game for Pedersen. A runner on at first. And a pitch inside, a 1-0 count to start for Mason Young. Mason's been on base twice, once on an error, once on a single. Will take on the outside corner. 1-1 count. So the game-tying runner is the man at home. A ground ball towards second. Could be a chance at 2. Scheid drops it. He gets it to second in time for the lead out. Bowers is forced out at second base as Scheid bobbled it. Makes the play on a short throw to second to get 1. Mason Young will reach on a fielder's choice. Top of the order comes up. Up to bat, Paxton Burke, who belted one to the wall earlier in the game back in the 3rd. He's 2 for 3 in the game with a double and a single. Takes outside for ball 1. He'll watch one come across at the belt for a strike. Clouds have started to roll back in, cooling it off a bit here at the ballpark. That ball out towards the alley in left center, but it's going to hang up long enough for the center fielder, Poff, to run underneath it. Right idea for Burke, but he just couldn't get it to drop in. So there's 2 down, and it'll be up to Fletcher Coleman to try and keep the game going. Roseburg with 1 man on and 2 away, trailing by 2. North Medford looking to try and split here on the day. Pitch catches the corner for strike 1 to Fletcher Coleman. Coleman is 0 for 3 in this one. Pops it up on the infield. This should do it here. North Medford third baseman Thompson there for the catch, and North will get 1 out of the 3 against Roseburg. They split here today as North Medford will get a 4-2 victory. And the 2 teams will finish with identical records on the season, but Roseburg will hold the tiebreaker and should get the 3 seed out of the Southwest Conference with that victory in Game 1. Roseburg will be 14-11 on the year. Medford is 14-11. Both teams will finish at 10-8 in league play. Final score is 4-2. North Medford with the win in Game 2. We'll take a 3-minute timeout. We'll come back with the postgame show on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
When it comes to finances, it can be hard to know what's in your best interest. Experience the strength of advice at Palm Wealth Management. From education and estate planning to retirement and the unexpected, we can help. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
My wife and I moved to Oregon to raise a family, set our roots, and to have a lot of fun outdoors. We quickly realized that we needed a truck or a rig for the projects that we were doing in our backyard. When we were looking to find a place to finance our truck, we asked our patients, and everyone recommended Cascade Community Credit Union. It was so easy to work with Cascade. Everything was done via email, phone, and we didn't even need to go in. I can't wait to finish up the projects in the backyard, go on more adventures in our truck with our boys, and I look forward to working with Cascade again in the future.
We are Douglas County Farmers Co-op, but we're not just for farmers. We serve all residents of Douglas County because we are Douglas County. Stop by today for everything from a tank of gas to a bite to eat anytime you're hungry. Pick up something for yourself, your home, and those you care for. Celebrating 100 years of service, Douglas County Farmers Co-op. Good people, good products, and good advice.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
Looking to expand your portfolio? Consolidate your investments with Palm Wealth Management. Our trusted team makes it easy to diversify and track your investments. Let Palm Wealth Management coordinate your financial strategy. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
At Roseburg Disposal, we're dedicated to meeting your garbage service needs. Started in 1932 by brothers Norm and Orville John, Roseburg Disposal continues to be owned and operated by the John family today, now in its third generation. Providing residential and commercial garbage disposal and recycling, we serve the greater Roseburg area. Invested in our community, our company has participated in many community projects, both financially and through donated services. Committed to our customers and our community, Roseburg Disposal.
Successful companies have a very important secret. Good advertising works and makes them money. That's why your business should contact Lotus Media Group. Let us help you cash in with multimedia advertising. Multiple touches from Douglas County's only Google certified partner and most effective advertising platform. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen. LotusMediaGroupLLC.com.
Well, the regular season for Roseburg has come to an end, barring maybe a final kind of exhibition, non-league, non-counter game coming up against possibly Sheldon next week. We will talk about that more as we go along, but nothing official on that one. But the Roseburg Indians dropped their final game in Southwest Conference play here today. 4-2 the final there. Roseburg does take the series against North Medford, but the two teams will finish tied for third in the league standings. Roseburg has the tiebreaker, so they will be the 3 seed out of the Southwest Conference. They get the automatic berth in the playoffs. Both North Medford and Roseburg should be in the postseason either way. With the two teams splitting, there is a good chance they'll both be maybe in the 20 to 25 range in the rankings, and we'll see where that ends up putting them in the postseason. I was kind of checking some things earlier, and as it stands right now, and now the rankings don't freeze until Thursday next week, so there's still a lot of other games around the state to get underway and get played, and those will have a bearing on Roseburg's ranking because of teams they've played previously and how that affects everybody else around the state. So we'll see how that goes, but Roseburg, they will wait to kind of find out what the rankings look like when they freeze on Thursday. And right now, if they stay in that kind of middle of the early 20s range, it was looking like places like Sherwood, Lincoln High School up in the Portland area, Beaverton. Those were some of the names of the teams that could be on the other side. Lake Ridge was maybe kind of in that range in there as well. Well, definitely a lot of time for all of that to get sorted out, and we'll have to wait and watch. But it looks like probably a trip up to it didn't look like Salem was really, but it's kind of up to the Portland metropolitan area is probably what we are looking at for the first round of the playoffs, which will start on May 25th. And the rankings freeze on Thursday, May 21st. So that'll be what we have to look forward to here. Recapping this one, North Medford grabbed the lead in the first inning, 1-0. They added 2 in the third to make it 3-0. Roseburg got one back in the fourth and added another in the sixth to make it 3-2. But North would add a run in the top of the seventh for a little bit of insurance. They were up 4-2. Roseburg got a runner on base in the seventh, but they could not do anything to try and get that runner into scoring position and try to tie this one up. So Roseburg falls 4-2 in the second game of today's doubleheader. The Indians will finish out the regular season 14-11, and with their overall record, they are 10-8 in Southwest Conference play. North Medford is 14-11 overall, and they are 10-8 in conference play as well. North Medford does have a non-league game against West Salem coming up on Thursday next week. Again, I don't know if that's one that'll count towards their power ranking or not, but we'll, I guess, find out on all of that. Taking a look at the pitching decision, Cade Pedersen gets the win, 7 innings. He allowed 2 runs on 6 hits with 3 walks and 9 strikeouts here today. Taking the loss is Fletcher Coleman. He goes to 1-4 on the year. Coleman gives up 3 runs on 4 hits with 5 walks, 5 strikeouts, 1 hit batter over 6 innings of work. Christian Corba allowed 1 run on no hits, 1 walk, no strikeouts, and 1 inning of work at the 7th inning for the Roseburg Indians. So that is the pitching decisions there. Corba did not factor into it. We only, after using 9 pitchers in the game on Tuesday, only 5 pitchers used here today between 2 games with Roseburg and North Medford. North Medford starting pitcher goes the distance in both games. Roseburg starting pitcher goes the distance in game 1 and pitches 6 innings in game 2. So not too shabby there. Taking a look at some of the offensive numbers. Braden Poff goes 1 for 3 with a single, a walk. He scored twice, got on base 3 times. Brady Patterson had a sac bunt, but it was over 3. Quincy Ballard was 1 for 1 in the game with 2 walks and a single, scored a run. Let's see here. Reese Thompson was 1 for 1 with a single, hit by a pitch and a walk. Colston Staller had a double, but got picked off at second. Connor Roush scored a run in the 7th inning after a couple of strikeouts. He walked and got on and scored a run. And then Kyson Scheid was 0 for 1 in the game with a walk and a sac bunt. North Medford 4 runs on 4 hits with 1 error and 5 men left on. They didn't do a lot of damage when it came to the bats, but they took advantage of 6 walks and 1 hit batter and also took advantage of some errors by Roseburg. Roseburg had 2 runs on 6 hits with 2 errors in this one. They left 6 men on base. For the Indians, Paxton Burke was 2 for 4 with a double and a single. Fletcher Coleman does not get on base here today, and that is just the second time all season that Fletcher has not gotten on base, and it snaps a streak of 18 straight games of reaching base safely for Fletcher Coleman. Christian Corba goes 2 for 3 in this one with a triple, a double, and he scores 2 runs. Corba continues his hot hitting. He's now had a hit in 9 straight games, and his batting average is going to be climbing quite a bit. Grayson Code is the DH, drew a walk, but was 0 for 2. A.J. Black drove in a run on a ground out. He was 0 for 3. Brady Popkin goes 1 for 2 with a walk and an RBI single. And then Amos Bowers reached on a walk, was 0 for 2 in the game. Mason Young goes 1 for 3, got on base 3 times, reached on a single in the 3rd, on error in the 5th, and reached on a fielder's choice in the 7th. So the final score again, 4-2. North Medford gets the win over Roseburg, and that'll put an end on the conference season for these 2 clubs. Also today, Sheldon was at South Eugene. My assumption would be that Sheldon has probably won both of those games against South Eugene. And let's see if maybe I can look that up here real quick. Looks like right now Sheldon is leading South Eugene 3-1. I would assume that is after winning in game 1. Let's see here. Yeah, 12-2, I think. Let's see, is that today? Yeah. 12-2, Sheldon won game 1 earlier, and they're leading game 2 at the moment against South Eugene. So if that happens, then Sheldon and Willamette will be tied atop the Southwest Conference standings with both teams at 14-4. But Willamette would be the Southwest Conference champs with the tiebreaker, or at least get the number 1 seed, and then a co-champion with Willamette and Sheldon. Roseburg and North Medford tied at for 3rd place at 10-8, with Roseburg having the tiebreaker there. South Medford in 5th place in the league standings with a 9-9 record. Grants Pass at 6-12 is right on the bubble of making in the playoffs as an at-large team. And South Eugene likely finishing out the season at 0-18 and not making the playoffs here this year. So that is a look at how the Southwest Conference season is wrapping up for the teams here in Southern Oregon. Playoffs are up next for Roseburg. West Salem, a final non-league game for North Medford coming up on Thursday next week to wrap up their regular season. So we now will have some time to kind of wait and see what is in store for Roseburg going forward. So we'll look forward to that. We'll see how it all plays out, and we'll have all the details for you. Make sure you are following us on social media or checking out our website, the Score homepage at 541radio.com, or tune in here on the radio, and we will likely keep you up to date on what's going on with Roseburg baseball in the postseason and what our coverage is looking like as we go forward. It is the postseason, so we will warn you, if you've gotten accustomed to watching the games online, it's not always a guarantee that we're going to be able to bring you the games with the video stream online in the postseason. So just keep that in mind. But we will always have the radio coverage that we can bring you in the postseason. And you can also listen to the radio broadcast online at 541radio.com and on the 541 radio app. All right, that's going to do it for us here, folks. Thanks so much for joining us for today's doubleheader between Roseburg and North Medford. I did see it was 4-0, North Medford leading Roseburg in softball in that matchup over at the softball field at Roseburg High School. Let's see here. Ducks are currently in front of USC 3-0 in the second inning. You can tune in for that game on News Radio 93.9 FM and 1240 KQEN. Oregon State Beavers baseball, they're in the sixth inning there. The Beavers leading 5-1 against Air Force. And the Oregon softball team is trailing in the bottom of the sixth against Mississippi State 4-0 in the double elimination tournament there at Jane Sanders Stadium. That would be the first loss for the Ducks if that score holds for Mississippi State. All right, that's just a quick catch-up on the scoreboard things before we sign things off here for you. And we hope you have a great rest of your weekend, everybody. I'm Joey Keeran. It's been a pleasure to be here with you, calling another season of Roseburg baseball on the Score. Thanks so much, everybody, for tuning in and joining us. It, again, is always a lot of fun to be able to be here and cover the guys. We will go ahead and take a quick timeout, or actually we will wrap things up, is what I meant to say. We'll take the time to wrap things up here. We'll take some time to say thank you to the North Medford Black Tornado for a fun series here this week, and best of luck to them going forward from here. I want to say thanks to Athletic Director Adam Blue, Head Coach Troy Thompson, and the entire Roseburg baseball program for allowing us to bring you another season of Roseburg baseball here on the Score. I want to say thanks to Brenton Cranford back in the studio for the radio production here today, and as always, a thanks to you, the fan, for tuning in for today's broadcast, because, of course, without you, I'm just a guy sitting here talking to myself. I'm Joey Keeran. We'll catch up with you in the future, most likely when the playoffs start on a week from this coming Monday, May 25th. So we'll talk to you then, folks, and we will keep you up to date on what's going on with Roseburg baseball online at 541radio.com and on our social media channels. So stay with us there. We will talk to you again soon. This has been Roseburg baseball on 541radio.com and on the Score.